Hi everyone, welcome once more to this fantastic session where we'll be discussing why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles. Okay, so welcome once more to this amazing session. All right, but before we dive right into this, I would love to get to know you and where you are joining us from. Okay, so I'd love to know you and the place you are joining us from, the country that you are joining us from. I am Chukwemeka and I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria. So just type in the chat box your name and where you are joining us from so that we can start up this section immediately. Okay, we are still waiting for others, but while we are waiting for them, let's start off instantly and get to know each other immediately. All right, so I'm still waiting to see. I can see Bolanle, I can see Benjamin, I can see Blessing Bright, Neo, Dokun, and of course 15. So please, I would love to know you and where you are joining us from. So I can see a couple of chats. Think this is Neo. Neo is joining us from Owerri. Okay, Emmanuel from Owerri. That should be Nigeria. Fantastic. And we have Deco from Canada. Fantastic. So we have Benjamin from UK, Ireland. Amazing, amazing. Means that we already have people from 3 different locations in the call at the moment. Okay, guys, just let's keep it coming. I would love to know you and where you are joining us from, so that we'll also get to interact, network, and be able to know the geolocations of where everyone on this call is joining us from today. Okay, so I'm still waiting for your comments. If you are just joining us, we are trying to get to know each other, right? So we are getting to know you. I am Chukwemeka and I'm in Lagos, Nigeria at the moment. So I would love to know you and where you are joining us from also, so that we can get to have a seamless conversation tonight. Okay, so I've seen Neo is from Nigeria, Benjamin is from UK, Ireland, Deco is from Canada, Blessing is from Nigeria. Amazing, means to have more Nigerians on the call tonight. Okay, fantastic. And also, if today is the first time that you are joining any of our sessions, I would also love to see it in the chat box. Okay, so just type in a 1. If today is the first time that you are joining any of our sessions, please type in a 1. And if you've been in any of our sessions before now, you are free to type in any number as it pleases you. Okay, so this is basically going to also let us understand how we are going to have this conversation tonight. Okay, I can see a couple of 1 as well. Is it only Blessing and Benjamin that is on this call tonight, or are they the only active people? Okay, so I always love having active people on my call so that it would be very, very engaging. Okay, Neil, today is your first time as well. Blessing, today is the first time. Benjamin, today is the first time. Fantastic. So it's already tilting towards that we have more people that today is their first time. And that means we have to take it low to bring you guys from the lowest and climb you up to the experts that you can be for tonight. All right. So I also love to know what you want to take out from this session. Okay. So you saw the topic, why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other tech roles. I would love to know what exactly you want to take away from this session, so that I'll make sure that before we are done with the conversation that we have for tonight, we will definitely touch what you want to take out from this session. Okay, so just type in the chat box also, this is what you want to take out from, maybe in a couple of sentences, 1 sentence, 2 sentences, just type in what you want to take out from this exact session. Okay, so guys, this is very, very key because it's going to direct how we're going to converse entirely tonight. I have an amazing person with me, an expert cybersecurity person that is going to help us demystify everything that we think or that we know with respect to cybersecurity. Okay, so just type in the chat box what you want to take away by the end of this session. Okay, so you say, okay, this is what you got exactly for today's session. I would love to know it. Okay, I've not seen anything yet. Blessing, Benjamin, Neil, DIC learners. I want to know if cybersecurity is for me. Fantastic, Deco. You want to know if cybersecurity is for you. So we're going to definitely talk to you with respect to everything that pertains to cybersecurity that we can touch this night and make sure that we're able to help you understand if cybersecurity is for you, right? So if you're just joining the call, we are just doing introduction and saying our name, the country we are joining from, and if today is our first time, and also talk with a sentence or 2 sentences what you want to take out from this session. Okay, so this is very, very critical because it's going to also direct what my colleague that is on the call also will be talking on tonight. Okay, let's keep it coming, please. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Okay, I guess someone liked Deco's comments, which means the person also wants to know if cybersecurity is for them as well. Fantastic. I've always wanted to study cybersecurity. That's from Neil. Fantastic. You've always wanted to study cybersecurity. So tonight we're going to scratch everything that pertains to cybersecurity. So this is 6 minutes past 8 Nigerian time. So we're going to dive right into what we have for tonight, which is basically why cybersecurity analysts are paid more than other technical roles that you can think of out there. But before we continue, I would love to tell you the company that this good news is coming from. So we are Analytics, right? And Analytics is an educational technology company that's helping Africans and people of the Black community to learn premium tech skills. And how do we make this happen? It's basically by lowering the entry barrier into the tech industry and make sure that we're able to carry everyone along. And we do this by teaching our courses with real-life case study-based experiences to make sure that you catch everything that you are supposed to know, right? So what this means is that it's not your normal classroom learning where you enter class and you're learning theoretically. No. So for these exact sessions, for the sessions that we organize for our classes, they are all real-life case study-based learnings. And our offerings range across a couple of courses: data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum Master, and of course, cybersecurity, which is the main reason why we are here, right? So we play across all these domains in the tech ecosystem. And we have amazing facilitators that come from diverse companies like Google, KPMG, Apple, Amazon, PwC, InterSwitch, Access Bank, name them. And we also have our students work in these amazing places. So you are in the right place for you to hear everything that you need to know pertaining any of these courses that we offer. But for now, tonight, we are going to dwell solely and fully on cybersecurity, basically why cybersecurity analysts earn more than other guys in the technical field. Okay, and who am I? Basically, I am Chukwemeka Ekpa, and I'm a GRC expert. GRC is basically governance, risk, and compliance, with more than 5 years of experience in GRC and consulting. Presently, I am the COO of Analytics, and I've helped close to 500 people with no prior technical background transition into tech and land their first job. So my personal experience spans across governance, risk, and compliance in the banking sector, head of control in the financial technology firm, data analyst, of course, in the fintech ecosystem also, and also a hospitality consultant. Like I mentioned, I've worked in financial services industry, I've worked in the capital markets, I've worked in the hospitality sector, and presently I am in the educational technology firm, and currently I am in Nigeria also. And with me tonight is an amazing, fantastic person that we all should be proud to have on our session tonight, okay? And that's no other person than Peter Ode. Hi, Peter. Do you want to say anything to people on the call at the moment?
Yeah, hello, Chukwemeka. Thank you.
All right. So Peter is
I think you should go ahead with the introduction, sir. Yeah.
All right, that's fine. So Peter is a cybersecurity expert with more than a decade experience in IT risk, penetration testing, digital forensic, data protection, compliance, and of course, fraud investigation. Peter personally is a mentor and coach that have helped close to 1,000 people with no pure technical background transition into cybersecurity. So we have an amazing person that has been playing in this exact industry for more than a decade. All right, his experience spans across training and development, cybersecurity and IT research, and cybersecurity operations, CSOC, and data protection training for over 10 government parastatals. So Peter is a member of the Cybersecurity Expert Association of Nigeria. He's also a consultant for Center for Cyberspace Studies. And of course, he's an expert trainer in the Cyberspace Foundation. So Peter comes with wealth of experience, cutting across different areas when we talk about cybersecurity. And this is the person that is going to be talking out to us tonight for us to hear the basic things that we need to understand. But first, what are we going to be talking about tonight? right? What and what are we going to be talking about? We are going to be talking about understanding cybersecurity. So we're going to walk you from ground zero to the expert level so they can understand everything that pertains to cybersecurity. Okay, it is not possible for us to scratch the entirety of cybersecurity tonight, right? But we are going to summarize it in a way that by the time you are done with the session, you understand who a cybersecurity is fully, what cybersecurity analysts do, and also why they earn more than other guys in this same technical ecosystem, right? Why do cybersecurity analysts, why are they paid more? The number two thing that we're going to be talking about is also the pathway for you to becoming an expert in cybersecurity. What is the pathway that you can use to become a cybersecurity expert? Then number three is basically talking to you about our upcoming cohorts that is starting next Saturday, July 6th. And you also get to hear our success stories, all right? The success stories of people that passed through these exact sessions, people that passed through our classroom, and also talk to you about our growth internship, right? So what we've noticed is that there is a big gap when it comes to years of experience, okay? What recruiters are looking at for now is people that have experience and the skill to transition into the job, right? Recruiters are no more looking for, okay, let's get this person and train the person for 1 to 2 years, person will now become an expert. They want people that are coming to add value to the company. And that is the gap that we are willing to bridge for you. And how do we do this? Is by providing you with case study-based learning that you are going to use as project-based experience, okay? Project-based experience, which is also very, very important for recruiters, of course. And once you are able to get the education, get the skill, and also have a project-backed experience, it is sufficient for you to land that job that you are definitely looking for. And that is also what we practice now. Our growth internship, where we give you more real-life case studies to work with and put in your own portfolio. And lastly, we are going to walk you through the early bird discounts that we also have for you. So by virtue of you being on the call tonight, you have an early bird discount, which you are going to get. So I'm going to call on Peter to take on the floor and talk to us on everything that we need to know. Hi, Peter. Peter, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much, Chukwemeka. Good day and welcome to this session. So just like Chukwemeka have said, or rightly said, we are going to be, diversifying into the concepts and tales, right? So we'll be looking at, before we delve into cybersecurity proper, we'll definitely look at, some major stuff that, we need to know about cyber security. And please, I believe we all have been hearing the word cybersecurity, right? So there's actually a concept that is being protected or that we are thinking to be protected before we get to the level of cybersecurity. So before we get to that, let's just look at these threats. These are some of the top threats that we have in cybersecurity. Now, what are threats? What are threats? We all know that threats are danger to us. Those are the things we refer to as threat, but we have to take it back. Threats. So let me explain something to us. It's what we refer to as the cyberspace, right? So it is when you are learning how to secure the cyberspace, that is when they say you are learning cybersecurity. Now, what is the cyberspace? So the cyberspace is an all-encompassing word that we use to describe anything that happens, in the information technology, sphere, right? Anything that happens in the network sphere. Communication, right? That a device communicates with another device, information or whatever it is, right? So that is what we refer to as the cyberspace. We also look at it as the fifth world space, right? The fifth world space in the sense that in the world, we have the land, we have the sea, we have the air, and we have the space, right? and then the cyberspace. So the cyberspace is the fifth world space. And today, countries engage themselves in fighting wars, right, across the cyberspace or within the cyberspace, right? People don't even go to do land wars again, right? Or fighting via seas or fighting via the air. They can just sit in the comfort of their home and carry out a hack on another country, right? So that is what we refer to as the cyberspace, right? So it's an all-encompassing word. So in the cyberspace, they are what we refer to as assets. So anything that is of value to the cyberspace is what we refer to as an asset. And that is what everybody that is attacking you is against. So if a country is attacking another country, right, what they are actually attacking or targeting is an asset to that country, right? Likewise, if a business or if a hacker is attacking or targeting you, what he's targeting is something that is of importance to you, right? So therefore, yourself as a person, your value to yourself, right? So you become an asset to yourself. And for the fact that you have a role to play in the cyberspace makes you an asset to the cyberspace. Your gadgets, your devices, your computer system, and all whatnot, your data, informations you have, all of those things becomes, assets to the cyberspace, right? And for the fact that these things are of value to you, somebody else will want to take that, right? Somebody else would want to, have what you have. Somebody else will want to get your names, want to get those informations about you, your health record and all whatnot, right? Because they can use that to commit a crime. They can use that to either impersonate you or commit an identity fraud scam, or maybe do what we refer to as a social engineering, attack on somebody that knows you. Most of us are fallen victim of when people take over our phones, they start calling our relatives and say, please send money to me, I'm in distress and all whatnot, right? So people take our Facebook accounts and do all of those things, right? So those things, our Facebook accounts, our phones, all of those things are our assets. So assets are things that are of value to you, right? So anything that is of value to you is considered an asset. And every asset, including we that are human beings, we have our weaknesses. And that is where the term vulnerabilities comes in, right? So from vulnerabilities, the only thing that takes advantage of a vulnerability is what we refer to as threats. So we have come back to threats now. So threats are those things that have the potential of causing harms to us, right? Those things that can take advantage of the weaknesses in our assets, right? So now when those threats take advantage of that, carry out that action, we refer to it as an attack, right? So when a threat takes the action itself, it becomes an attack, right? So what you put in place to prevent all of these things from happening, right? What you put in place to prevent threats from taking those advantages, to prevent threats from, discovering those vulnerabilities or those weaknesses are what we refer to as cybersecurity. And today, the screen we have here is showing us some of the common threats, those things that can take advantages of vulnerabilities of our systems or devices or ourselves as human beings, right? So we have some of them, we refer to it as ransomware, Internet of Things vulnerabilities, social engineering and phishing attacks, supply chain attacks, AI-powered cyber threat. Now, if I just want to pick some and explain, ransomware is just like what happens in kidnapping, right? When somebody kidnaps somebody and demands for ransom. So that is how an attacker, somebody that can cause harm to you, or somebody that carries out that action of causing harm to you, right, can take hold of your data or your device and demands for ransom. So that is what we refer to as a ransomware attack, right? If we look at social engineering, now this is an attack that is targeting us as persons, right? Targeting most of us. In fact, that is one of the most common attacks where you see people sending you fake links to click on, fake messages, hoaxes, and your WhatsApp, on your Gmail, your email account. You see information on mails that you don't solicit them. They are coming, right? All of those type of things fall under the category of social engineering and phishing attack. So social engineering, when somebody tries to call you to defraud you, that is social engineering in cybersecurity, right? When somebody sends you a malicious email to click on a link or to update an information, just like we people say your That is what we call phishing attacks, right? So we also can look at zero-day exploits. Zero-day exploits are those exploits that even what yourself as a security person putting up your security implementations and all whatnot, you will not know that that attack is that attack exists or that threat exists until the threat carries out the attack, right? So any threat that has not been discovered, right, becomes a zero-day threat, right? And any attack that you know you did not plan for and it happens becomes a zero-day attack. So that is the word zero-day. Then we have our mobile malware and all those adwares. You see us having different types of applications in our mobile phones that we don't know what they are being used for, right? What are those things for, right? So those are the mobile malware and vulnerabilities, right? So it creates a weakness in our mobile devices, you know, for us, and we can be accessed from any location, right? Then we also have insider threats where people working in an organization decides to, you know, give in to or defraud the organization or give out sensitive information that they are not supposed to give out or sell out information that they are not supposed to sell. Now, these are some of the major threats that we find in the cyberspace. And for all of these things to be prevented, that is where the idea, the concept of cybersecurity comes in. So cybersecurity are the countermeasures, right, that are being put in place in order to protect our systems, our networks, our data, our digital assets, ourselves, and everybody or everything that plays in the cyberspace. I believe that is understood. So when somebody asks you what is cybersecurity, don't think it is just one big word. It is actually those control measures, those countermeasures you are putting in place, those security measures you are putting in place in order to protect, you know, all of your assets in the cyberspace, right? So it is designed to achieve three goals or three major goals. Let's use the word main or major goals. Three major goals. The first one is confidentiality. It is designed, or whenever you are designing those countermeasures, you have to understand that it needs to achieve confidentiality, it needs to achieve integrity, and it needs to achieve availability. Now, these are what we refer to as the CIA triad, right? So confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information or of whatever resources that is being shared over the cyberspace of your assets, right? The confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your assets in the cyberspace. So that is what cybersecurity is being developed to achieve, right? So that is the goal of cybersecurity. So confidentiality, like we told us, it helps you protect the confidence you have on that asset, right? Protect the confidence you have on that asset. And it ensures that that asset is what it is, has not, you know, lost its originality, right? It ensures that that asset that is being given to you is held in confidence. It means if it is this person that should have this information, it should be that person that should have that information, not the other person, right? So in confidence, information given out in confidence should be held in confidence, right? That is one of the goals of cybersecurity. The next one is to protect integrity. Integrity means information that is given to you is the actual information and it has not been modified. Nobody has tampered with it, right? It has not been changed, right? And how do cybersecurity ensure that? It uses what we refer to as hashing. Definitely all of these terminologies, some of them might sound strange to us, but when we, you know, come into the course properly, we'll start understanding some of these terminologies, right? So use stuff like, you know, digital signature for non-repudiation so that somebody that sends a message to you will not deny that he or she did not send that message, right? So for integrity purposes, cybersecurity maintains, helps to achieve that also. Then for availability, in the sense that the assets, the information, right, is made available as at whenever it is needed, right? So nobody, you know, deny you of the service of an asset in the cyberspace, right? So these are the major three things that cybersecurity has come to achieve. Now, in today's world, cybersecurity is more important than ever because of so many things that we're going to be exposing us to, right? And cybersecurity analysts, right? Or generalists, right? They are like the frontliners. Definitely, we remember those of us in the world, all of us were in the world actually. We remember when there was COVID and all those things, we heard of that word, the frontliners, those persons, interacting directly with patients, right? In the field, right? You don't go out, but there are people that go out to ensure that these things does not, go beyond what it's supposed to be. Take care of people that are fallen short of it and all whatnot. Now, that is how, the cybersecurity analysts and generalists are like in the cyberspace. These are the frontliners that defends, an attack from happening in the cyberspace, right? Also, understand that these frontliners can also fall sick, right? And become an attacker. Is that also? So at times, we have the categories of offensive and defensive. But most times, why this job looks very lucrative is everybody wants to defend. Everybody wants to defend their organization, their nation, right? So that whenever there is this attack, it won't come in. So, and that is why you see the cybersecurity world is going viral and everybody is keying into it. So we're going to talk about and see some reasons why cybersecurity analysts earn more than every other persons in the tech roles, right? So let's look at the internet roll call. One of the reasons is because of the internet roll call, right? The internet roll call, this is actually research carried out by, the cybersecurity ventures, you understand? And they have put up this beautiful infograph to show us what the cyberspace looks like, right? And if you can see, they are telling us, okay, there's 100 times by 2022, there have been 100 times of data generated, right, than ever before. 100 times the number of data generated, right? If you look up here, that is what you see. At this point, they are telling us, okay, the cost of cybercrime was $6 trillion as at 2021. The cost of cybercrime, people that makes money from cybercrime, right? As at 2021 was $6 trillion, the cost of cybercrime, right? And then cybersecurity spending for organization was, $1 trillion between the year 2017 and today, right? Please give me a while. Let me extend my screen so that we can see clearly. Okay. So I guess everybody can see clearly now. So by 2019, okay, this was actually 2019 report. So 50% more of smartphone will be in the cyberspace, right? And hacking kit, as at then, cost $100 per hacking kit. Now we'll look at some of those things, right? And also we know most of us only know the internet. There's actually something more than that. We refer to it as the dark web, right? The internet is just a tip of the iceberg. So the dark web is where almost all the informations in the world are, right? So 19 billion websites and counting will be created or has been created in the dark web. Now in the dark web, that is where you see every form of stuff, every form of things. If you want to buy any kind of tool, you can see that in the dark web. If you want to hire whatever kind of hacker in this world, you see that in the dark web. In fact, whatever it is you think you want to do on earth, right, that is evil, go to the dark web, right? The internet surface that we always use to browse, our Google and all those things, is just a little aspect of, the digital, the internet, the entire internet space, right? So these are some of the informations we have that is making everybody wants to, go into this. Imagine this was a report as of 2019 and look at the trend up to date. We are going to be looking at some of those trends though as we progress. So you see, crypto, we have 70% of all transactions for illegality. That's in crypto. There are 70% of illegal transactions happening in the crypto space, right? 70%, right? So more advances will equal to more attack, more ransomware is coming, healthcare becoming more honorable, healthcare sector. So we have 50 times more valuable for health information, right? Imagine I hack into your smartwatch and I tap in and get information about your health from them. You know, if I want to kill or do whatever harm I want to cause to you, I can actually do that by just hacking into that. So all of those things, because the information you want to transmit to your doctor to give you, to prescribe medications for you can actually be changed and the doctor prescribes something that is going to kill you, right? So all of those things are things that can actually happen. And as of that same year, Cisco, right, blocked about 7 trillion threats, 2 billion threats per day. Cisco, as an organization that does build firewalls and all those stuff, they gave a report that they blocked 7 trillion threats in 1 year. That's to say they blocked 2 billion threats per day. 2 billion threats per day, right? That is what Cisco blocked. Threats. Understand where we are going to. So you can see that the space is choked already. The space is choked. Now, if you look at the second item here, the consumer security threats, everybody is in the cyberspace. We have over 90% of people living on Earth now in the cyberspace because almost all of us in the meeting today, as we are here, we are actually in the cyberspace. We are listening to this using a technological device, right? And information is being communicated. So it means we are on the cyberspace, right? So everybody is in the cyberspace. And as such, scams like phishing scams have grown to up to 90%. All those fake emails you get, and they'll tell you to click this. You see some of those hoaxes that comes on our charts and all those things. You click, and the attacker is just there trying to, lure you to click on that thing and then take over your machine or take over your system, right? So that is what we refer to as phishing. That is why we always encourage you, do not click links anyhow. Before you click, think. Before clicking, think, right? Right. So the attack of phishing is there. SIM swap is there. They say 100 times more data than today. I think we have seen that people generate this data, right? More than 100 times, like what we used to have, right? And okay, 50 times as personal health information, just knowing people's health information that is being sold, they are being sold in the black market, that's in the dark web, right? And it's like 50 times more valuable than credit cards. Understand that personal health information is 50 times more valuable than people's credit card in the black market, right? So you should understand where we are going to. So sometimes your health information that you don't think they are something that is of value to you are actually of value to people because anybody that understands your health, whatever, can actually cripple you, right? We have 447 million customer records stolen in 2018, 447 million customer records. And all of these things are being sold in the dark web, right? Then what about identity theft? Stuff like identity theft. We have seen that mostly people take over your WhatsApp account and start sending messages to people telling them to send money to you, right? People taking over your Facebook account or your Twitter account and also use them to pretend that they are you. There are people that also create accounts and uses people's images. Somebody can just look at a rich man and put his image and then try to, defraud people with that. That is identity theft. So all of these things, if you look at the consumer security threat, we are all exposed to it, right? We are all exposed to it. So if you look at this, it's even becoming something more than COVID. And as such, everybody, every country, every organization wants to, be at the forefront, fighting and preventing all of these things from happening to themselves as an individual, to the organization, and also to the government, right? Also data explosion. So by 2025, we say the prediction that 50% of all data will be stored in the cloud. So if you don't have your data stored on your flash drive, those of us that have been using computer for a while, you remember those days we used to store information on diskettes. We now moved to CD plates, that's CD plates. They will now move to flash drives, right? And now, today, everything is going to the cloud. So the cloud is just a storage location sitting somewhere, right? That have all the facilities in place to enable you, store your stuff. So you just link it to a network, and then they give you a path, which they give you maybe something like a Dropbox that you can interact with, or a Google Cloud that you can interact with, and then you save your stuff. So when you are saving in the cloud, you're actually saving it to that location, right? So they say 50% of all data will be stored in the cloud. As we say, you will not even have access, you will not have total control of those information. So it means if an attacker hacks or attacks that storage location, you understand the gravity of the type of crime that person can commit with those information. So they say 338 billion lines of new software code will be written in 2025. Now we are looking at the explosion that is happening in the cyberspace. And also, forget it, I didn't mention that our data, as we are saying, not data that you subscribe to browse, right? Your information, our data, our personal data, right? Our sensitive data is what we call the oil of the cyberspace, because that is the most important asset in the cyberspace. So you are the most important asset in the cyberspace. For the fact that you are using anything that has to do with the cyberspace makes you the most important person in the cyberspace, right? The most important aspect of the cyberspace. And as such, your information is very, very important. And that is why we look at it as the oil of the cyberspace, right? So in the cyberspace, 7.5 billion people will be on the cyberspace by 2030. So it means almost everybody on Earth will be on the cyberspace, right? So data explosion to 200 zettabytes by 2025. So we'll have data up to 200 zettabytes. Imagine we are still in gigabyte and terabytes. We have not reached petabytes. We have not reached hexabyte until before we get to zettabytes, right? That is the 10th of where we are. We are actually still at the second, right? Our gigabyte is first, our terabyte is, our megabyte is first, gigabyte is second, terabyte is third, right? So we are going to the 10th, right? 200 zettabytes of data will be generated in 2025. 2025 is just some months away from today, right? 45 million software developers will be having 45 million software developers by 2025, right? And then ransomware attack, I've explained it, initially. So they say by 2021, a business will experience ransomware attack every 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, as we are, every business experience that. You see some of these things that happen maybe with some of our banks, some organizations, they are not, there are times that you see them misbehaving and they are not functioning well. They're trying to do transfer, it's not going. Some of those, the things those banks go through, if they tell you, you will not believe them, right? Because people are always trying to hack, trying to break in, to get information. And when they close something, they'll tell you, pay us before we allow it, right? That is ransom, right? So 25% consumer abandon post-attack. So there are people that, after they have been attacked and they have recovered from it, they will abandon it. They will not even do anything to, solve that. So if you are not there as a cybersecurity expert, how do you advise them, right? So 75 billion of IT devices will be connected. That's Cisco source now from Cisco. Cisco is saying that by 2025, they will have 75 billion of their devices, of their IT devices, on the internet. Now, Cisco is an organization that builds stuff like router, firewalls, and most of the networking devices that organizations use. And they are telling us that by 2025, 75 billion of those devices will be online. Now, we are not saying all of these things to make us to be afraid or to threaten us, right? But we are just trying to show you so that you understand why organizations need these cybersecurity experts, right? Why every organization needs them. You see every country putting laws, trying to make sure several organizations in the country, obey and meet up to or are in compliance with some cybersecurity regulations and laws. You see organizations doing all of these things. It is because of all of these things we are exposing us to. Now, insider threat, I told us it is one of the most dangerous threats when somebody that knows you decides to betray you. It is always hard for you to, get out of that type of a case, right? For instance, they say there's a Nigerian word in Pidgin that says, "Who know man, nine they kill him," right? It is the person that knows you, knows every detail about you, that if that person wants to kill you, he kills you straight up without anybody, without you even escaping it, because he knows you're in and out. And that is what we refer to as insider threat. Somebody that is working within the organization, deciding to want to betray the organization. For instance, if somebody that is a banker, for instance, decide to snap those books that normally keep in the bank, where people go write their ATM card, their name, and some information because they are collecting ATM card, which is very wrong, right? Now, imagine a banker decides to snap this information and send to somebody that is a social engineer or that is a hacker. You know that it is very hard for you to detect or decipher that that banker or that your staff has done that. So that is one of the things that is making an insider threat to be very dangerous, right? So we'll be having 5 top network security risks. Insider threat is going to be one of them, right? The top network security risks, insider threat is going to be one of them. So we'll be having attacks, 320 billion emails a day based on insider threat, right? Ransomware attacks every 11 seconds, right? That was by 2021. So all of these things are what insiders can ensure or make possible to happen, right? And so if you don't know or you don't have a cybersecurity expert in your organization, how do you now detect all of this? How do you now monitor? How do you now checkmate all of this, right? So you see, these are some of the importance why organizations and countries and people need, cyber security, right? So this is just a graph showing the average pay of a cybersecurity expert, right? So as of today, we see between $55,000 to $60,000, right? $55,000 to $60,000 annually. Now that is the annual average salary of a cybersecurity expert, of a cybersecurity analyst, right? As of today, you understand? Now, why is it so? I think we have given us enough reason. There are a lot happening in the cyberspace that we don't know. Yourself as a person, you're making use of your phone, but you don't know the security implication of even making use of that phone that you're using. That phone you're holding in your hand, somebody can remotely take over your cameras, take over your voice, your recorders, that's your earpiece, your mouthpiece, and then whatever it is you do with that phone, he has access to it. Now, it is not about your phone number or whatever, but it is about that device, for the fact that that device will communicate. As a matter of fact, for the fact that you have applications on your phones that you don't even know how they came about, you bought the phones with those applications, has already given you off, right? Has already given you off, because some of these applications are there just to get access to your recorder, your cameras, your location, and all whatnot, right? So yourself as a person, you need, number one, an awareness of some of these things. You need to know them. Because when we are considering cybersecurity, we are actually looking at, the people first. That's myself and yourself. First of all, we need the knowledge. We need to be aware. We need this knowledge. That is why even if you don't want to learn cybersecurity to work in an organization, you can learn cybersecurity, to be aware of some of the things that can happen, right? And then protect yourself and your immediate ones, first of all, from hackers or from attackers, before moving to an organizational level. At the organizational level, that is where everybody wants to know cybersecurity so that they can get a job, whether remotely, physically, or hybrid. Now, that is another very nice landscape, right? That you can actually, display all your skills and technique in cybersecurity. And there's no how that you will display those techniques in the organizational level that you will not display it on the people's level, right? So for the jobs, there are a lot of them. There are a lot of cybersecurity jobs out there, and there are reasons why organizations need them. I believe in most of the countries in the world today, they operate what we call a cybersecurity emergency response team center, right? In almost everywhere in the world today, right? They have cybersecurity strategic policies, documents guiding them, and all whatnot, right? And it is people that implement this, it is people that are needed to implement those rules, right? And since we have established that all of these persons are frontliners, why not going to also be a frontliner instead of you to be behind for people to protect you, right? So you go and become a frontliner and you get paid, you get well paid, right? So also for Nigeria, this is the average monthly salary of, as research based on this, this is the average monthly salary of a cybersecurity analyst in Nigeria, right? Now, when we say average, it means you're looking at the top, you're looking at the bottom, you're putting all of them together, and then you're breaking them, right? So it means at least to the least minimum, this is what an average cybersecurity expert earns in a month, right? Now, this is also based on research that we have conducted in Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, Delta, and other parts of Nigeria. And also, if you look at the responders, these are not actually, they are not mostly, cybersecurity experts. They are mostly IT experts, financial people, people in consulting, others, education, and the likes, right? But if you actually get information from actual cybersecurity experts in Nigeria, you will notice that the average will be around 500,000 to 600,000 Nigerian naira. That's for those of us in Nigeria, right? So it is actually a lucrative frontline, job role, right? And that is the reason I believe we have seen it, why these persons are being paid that way. Now, why we are paid higher, right? Why are we paid higher? One, our job role is on high demand and there is a short supply. That is to say, the opportunity is there and there are no persons there. That is why you see cybersecurity experts going for several gigs. Gigs are all those, short jobs. You're working here, you're working here, you're working here, you're working here. You see one person taking up to 4 remote job roles, right? Because the manpower is short in supply and the demand is high, right? So definitely you see a cybersecurity expert is working remotely for Zenith Bank, is working remotely for a business organization, is doing this one, is training, is conducting this one, having different things to do. And as such, by the time you correlate all of these monies or whatever Stipes is getting from all of these ventures together, it becomes a high, a high-paying job for him or her, right? So the demand is high while the supply is low. And also it is a specialized skill set type of job role in the sense that you need, you need to be a critical thinker and also gain some hands-on experience. Cybersecurity is best done when you practice cybersecurity. So it is not something you go and read in the book and you say you are a cybersecurity expert. Because I think most of the persons we have today claiming to be cybersecurity experts, they just pick a document and read and believe they understand it, and they say they are cybersecurity experts. No, cybersecurity is actually learned based on, getting your hands dirty and getting your brain dirty. So you have to get both your hands and your brains very dirty because the critical thinking is top-notch, right? And while the critical thinking is needed in cybersecurity, is because of the speed. You need to develop that speed in responding to, threats and attackers, right? you need to know what to do the moment you see that. You don't need to go and sit down and wait for order from above, right? So you need to know how to think and how to solve problems, some skills that you need. And that is why, as a specialized skill set career path, it has both the technical and the non-technical, aspects. It has both the technical and the non-technical aspects. That's as a specialized career path. So this career path is a very unique one. It's a very unique one. You need to combine, things across different types of fields of study. You need to think as a mathematician, you need to think as a physicist, you need to think as a chemistry expert, you need to think as a computer expert, you need to think as everything. So in every position or location you find yourself, you need to think critically to, align cybersecurity principles and techniques to that, location that you find yourself. So it is just like somebody that's going to learn how to repair cars, for instance, right? So it is not just you looking at cars. If somebody is talking to you on the phone, my car stopped and there's something like that, you should be able to think and, simulate what that person is saying and then provide solutions. So that is how cybersecurity is. And so it makes people to want to, pay more because they know you are giving in more analytical skills into it. Then pressure and responsibility, like I have told us, whenever the moment you see a breach or you see an attack coming, you should be able to respond to it as a cybersecurity person. So you are always exposed to pressure. I have used the COVID, whatever that happened some years back, to portray this to us. You notice that those frontliners, most of them, are always under pressure. You see some of them coming back from work, very late. At times, some of them don't even come back. They stay there just trying to see how to take up that responsibility and, help protect so that this disease wouldn't spread, right? So that is what is expected. And, definitely for you being under pressure, taking up all those responsibilities, you need to be paid well, right? So that it will, commiserate what you are giving in. Then business impact. There's no business, there's no organization, there's no government that wants an attack to happen before, looking for a cybersecurity expert, right? So nobody wants to let it happen before. People do proactive. So protecting systems, protecting businesses is no more an afterthought, right? It is actually a proactive measure. Now, everybody, the moment they are starting a business, they are thinking cybersecurity. Okay, my business is going to be hosted online. How do I do it? What are the security, techniques or technology I need to put in place, and all whatnot, right? So it's making it, business is making it, or the business threats is making it to be a proactive measure whereby business owners always think cybersecurity before establishing their businesses so that they will not have an impact of an attack, right? Then also cybersecurity requires continuous learning. On daily basis, you need to learn. On daily basis, you need to learn. Before we can grow to the stage whereby you talk cybersecurity offhand, right? You need to learn over time, right? So it is not something that you go in and you feel you want to be an expert in it, right? I think this is my 11th year in cybersecurity and almost 18 years in IT generally. Okay, so let me leave that of the basic IT that we used to do early those days when we used to hack cafes and all those things, because we are the ones that started doing all those things. So you can see that it has grown through time, right? To have the kind of knowledge that you can actually, fit in every category or in every area in cybersecurity. And that is the area we refer to as a generalist or an educator position in cybersecurity, whereby you have a vast knowledge in different things. So it requires continuous learning. The moment you come into cybersecurity, you must keep learning. You must keep learning. You must continue learning. So for the fact that there's continuous learning, some organizations will know that definitely you will need more money to, further your careers, do your certifications, get certified in different bodies or with different bodies, because those bodies, yearly, some organizations or some standard organization brings up, updates yearly that you have to get certified with, right? For instance, like the EC Council brings up, certified ethical hacking courses. You have version. The one I did there was version 9. I think now we even have up to version 12, right? So version 11 just passed. We are going to version 12 now, right? So I started from version 1, version 2. So there are people that will have version 1 those days, right? So, and there are people that will have version 11. That's the current landscape has changed, right? So continuous learning, and these certifications don't come cheap. So organizations that know pay you well so that you can keep yourself up to date, right? So, like we said, there are a lot of jobs for everybody that wants to come into cybersecurity, right? There are a lot of jobs for us, right? So in 2023, the monetary damage caused by cybercrime reported to the United States Internet Crime Complaints Center, SC3, saw a year-over-year increase of around 21%, right? Of around 21%, amounting to a historical peak of 12.5 billion US dollar. That is what monetary damages, the monetary damages that hacking or attacks on the cyberspace cost, right? And so therefore, by 2023, last year we had less than 400,000, trained cybersecurity experts, right? So even with 1 million plus, right, we can never, solve the problems of the cyberspace. And that is why you see everybody wants to, come into the space, right? To become an expert in the space so that they can also tap from the blessing of the space, right? So the job is there. The job is there. You just need to, know what you are doing, right? So I will draw the curtain here and then invite Chukwemeka to go ahead and continue the session. So thank you very much.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much. I don't know if you are still following us up to this very moment. Please do well to type in a 1 in the chat box so that I'll be sure that you are still following us till this very time. So if you are still following us till now, just type in a comment, anything, just put it in the chat box so that I'll be sure that there are people that are still here on the call with me before we dive right into the pathway to you becoming a cybersecurity analyst. Okay, so what's the pathway to get you to becoming a full-fledged cybersecurity person? Right, so just type in any number, anything in the chat box so that I'll be sure that you are still following us till this very moment. Okay, I can see a couple of chats. Does it mean that these are the only people that are here with us till this very time? Okay, so I'm going to dive right into the other segments. What exactly do you have to do? What's the pathway to you to becoming a cybersecurity analyst, a cybersecurity engineer, or anything you can call it, okay? What exactly do you need to do? I'm going to walk us through it. But before then, I'm going to just clarify a bit of common security, cybersecurity myth that we all think on daily basis, okay? Number one is you need a technical background to start. That you need a technical background to start. This is the normal ideology that many people think, but in reality, many successful cybersecurity professionals started with no tech experience, right? Diverse backgrounds bring valuable perspective and skills. And what does this mean? So if you, as an individual, you have an inquisitive mindset, personally, you are the kind of person that have an inquisitive mindset, it means that technically you have the propensity to do well in the cybersecurity world, okay? Because with that inquisitive mindset, you are always going to be asking questions, okay, why is this like this? Okay, why is this so? Why is that so? And by that, you tend to already be playing in the cyberspace. So if at this moment you are still thinking that you need a technical background for you to start in the ecosystem, that is not true, okay? And also number two is that cybersecurity is only about coding. all right, that cybersecurity is only about coding. This is the place that it gets more interesting. People do not know that 90% of the different areas that's made up in cybersecurity, you do not need to write any single line of code actually, right? If you are looking to divert into the GRC aspect, if you are looking to be an incident reporter, if you are looking to be a data protection person, you don't have to even write any single line of code. Do you need to understand what the people that are writing codes are doing? Yes. But do you need to write that code? Totally not. Okay. So when you hear that cybersecurity is only about coding, it is not true. Okay. And the reality is that while coding can be useful in some domains, right? Like I mentioned, a lot of cybersecurity domains do not require coding at all. In fact, cybersecurity has totally non-technical domains. So you need to understand this so that you know that you going into the cybersecurity space doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be writing lines of code. Even when you have to do security threat analysis, you are going to be using tools to analyze all these threats. Okay, so if at this point you've not filled the attendance form, please try and fill it so that you can get the slide that we are using for this session and also get the recording at the end of the classes. All right, make sure you fill the attendance form that my colleague Imoa is dropping in the chat box so that you get the recording of this session and also the slide that we are using for this exact session. Then number 3, which is another myth that people think, is that certifications alone will get you a job. Certifications alone will get you a job. This is total lie. So we always classify certification in the ecosystem as, when we talk about the cart and the horse, okay? So naturally, we know that the horse is always in front and the cart is at the back, and then the horse is now pulling the cart away, okay? But when you put the cart before the horse, two of them are two very, very important variables for that movement to occur. But when you put the cart before the horse, it's improper fraction, right? So that's what we used to call in primary or secondary school that it cannot go, it cannot work. Okay, so what this means is that you are putting certification before getting the skill and the experience that you need first. And it cannot work. Okay, the two variables, are they important? Yes. But will it work? No. So you always need to put the first one first, the first variable first, which is skill and experience. And then the second one, which is certification. So once it's in this line, definitely you are going to go places. So we've had instances where someone will just go and do certification in possibly CompTIA++, do a lot of certification, but you do not understand the necessary rudiments of cybersecurity. You do not have the evidence to show that you have the skill. And the amazing thing these days is that recruiters already know that people sit for certifications for people. So they don't necessarily look out for all those certifications when they are recruiting. They want to see your skill. They want to see the experience that you have. They also want to see the evidence to that experience. And how do you do this? By showing them your portfolio. So certifications are good, but hands-on experience, networking, and continuous learning are way more crucial. Okay, so you have to put the cart, you have to put the horse before the cart and not the cart before the horse. And the number 4 aspect of the cybersecurity myth that we have is cybersecurity is only for young people. This is what we keep hearing every day. Cybersecurity is just for the young people. I'm too old to dive into this exact domain. It is a lie. Okay, just yesterday I was in a call with an individual that wants to take cybersecurity course, and what the guy said is that he said he's in his late 40s, late 40s, right? He's in late 40s and he wants to take cybersecurity, but he doesn't know how in-depth we are going to be in it. So he wanted to understand everything that we have to speak, everything that he's going to have in the classroom. So everything that we're doing right now, that's the conversation I had with him last night. And after everything, he was talking to me that, okay, this is a place that he has been looking to divert into for a while, and he feels this is the right time for him. This is someone that played in the different domains, in the different sectors of the economy, but right now, he wants to divert to cybersecurity. Okay, so the field values experience and wisdom. Many people pivot to cybersecurity later in their careers. And the experience and wisdom that you've collected over the years is something that is going to be vital for you. Now, imagine that you've played as a customer service person in the banking sector, right? As a customer service person, you've stayed on that exact seat. You've listened to tons and tons of complaints from customers, right? So you've heard so many ways that people have been scammed. You've heard so many possible ways that things have gone wrong. What do you think will happen when you use that exact customer service experience to come into the cybersecurity space? Someone that is a cybersecurity analyst may not have the experience you have with respect to experiencing and witnessing all these exact scam activities. But when you come with your own experience, that's an added feather to your cap. So once you are not able to understand the cybersecurity space, you are definitely going to go places. So a couple of people have come and said, okay, Chukwemeka, I do not have any experience or technical related degree. How will I make it happen? It is 100% possible for you to make this happen. And how is it possible? It is basically by using the 6-step approach that we talk about in Analytics. Okay, so we have Analytics 6 steps approach to tech career transitioning. And number one of it is identifying your target role. Okay, you need to first of all identify your own target role. So as an individual, for you to be on this score, that means you already have a preference towards cybersecurity. You've already identified that you want to be in the cybersecurity space. Okay. Next thing is for you to educate yourself, and that is where Analytics comes in. You need to get the education. There is one session I was having, and okay, it was a alumni session where our past students had to come to classes to talk to people. And what one of our past students, I think it was Abigail, what she mentioned is that Analytics is the degree that she never had with respect to this exact area. So, and that struck me. It means that when we talk about education, it's necessarily not you going back to school to get a degree. These days, learning skills, getting that exact experience is very, very important, and it also accounts for education. I've worked for one fintech in the past, and the CTO of that exact tech company, he didn't have, in fact, he was, as a CTO, that's when he was undergoing his undergraduate degree. How did he get to that exact space? Immediately he finished his first high school, he instantly started learning coding. So he had years of experience coding and building multiples of mobile applications. So when he now got to that exact company and got to the level of CTO, that's the point that he said he wanted to go to school and get a degree. When I heard that, I was like, okay, because I was surprised in the first place. But this is to tell you that what recruiters are looking out for right now is not necessarily your degree. It is, can you do this skill? I studied civil engineering in my first degree before I transitioned to GRC. Okay, so necessarily you don't need to have that technical background in that exact space. Analytics is here for you to make sure that you get the necessary skill and the experience that you need to transition, okay? And ensure you join a learning partner, which is where we come in. So number 3 aspects and number 3 step to you getting your journey started is basically to gain practical experience. Gain practical experience. So before this call is over, I'm going to show us one of the projects that the people in the current class, what they worked on. Okay, so and this is how you make up for all those years of experience that recruiters are asking for. So personally, you do not have 2 years of experience to show in the cybersecurity space. You do not have 1 year of experience to show. How do you make up for all those gaps? It's by getting involved in project-based experience, and this is what your classroom is going to be made up of. So it means that if you are learning introduction to cybersecurity, you have a case study you are working on. If you are learning application security, network security, mobile security, you have a case study you are working on. And by the end, you are going to put all this case study in your portfolio. So when you now come for an interview and the recruiter sees your CV and say, oh, you did this network security, you did this software security, you did this application security, that is an evidence to your own skill and experience, right? So you don't necessarily need to have to go and do the 2 years, 3 years, 4 years before you get the relevant industry experience to transition. If you do project practical based experience, it still counts for you. And also we have our internship models where we bring you into the internship system, virtual of course, and give you other real life case studies to work with. So the amazing thing about this is that you are actually working on a real life project. But what we do is that once this project gets to us, we codify it and change the names to give you to work. And that's just to protect ourselves from GDPR and NDPR laws, which is also applicable to cybersecurity, of course. So by virtue of you working on that exact project, you are indirectly working on a real life project. So you can always beat your chest and say, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on so and so project. So after you've completed this half of the pillars to getting your journey started, the other half is basically how you now model and build yourself. The first one is develop employability skills. Build a tailored CV to job requirements. I'll still talk on this more when we get to that employability aspect. How do you optimize your LinkedIn to be relevant in the industry? How do you gain interviewing skill? And how do you build up your Upwork profile? This is also where we come in because we are going to make sure that you get to do all these things. We are going to walk you through all these steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and of course the step 5, which is networking. So by virtue of you being on this call, when we started, I asked, where are you joining us from? We have people joining from Nigeria, we have someone joining from UK, Ireland, we have someone joining us from US, we have someone joining us from Canada, which means we have people in different countries. And by virtue of that, we've internet networked to several continents, right? And what that means is that you've opened up yourself to opportunities. We had an instance where someone got a job in one of our classes, and he kept getting other job interview invites. So what he asked some of the recruiters is that, can he recommend somebody else that he already has another job that he accepted? And the recruiters accepted. So he brought it to the class, and through that, he was able to secure jobs for 2 other students that was currently in that exact cohort with him. So you see the beauty of networking. Once you are able to get in a space where you have like-minded individuals, definitely there will be opportunities that will come from one person or the other. So the number 6 aspect of it is mentorship. Mentorship is very, very critical for you to transition into any of the tech industries. Some of us, we wasted years trying to learn a lot of things, okay? Because I transitioned through data analysis from there to GRC and a lot more movements. We never had someone to tell us, okay, this is the path that you need to follow. You need to learn this, you need to learn that and this for you to get into this industry. What we're doing basically is once anything comes up, we'll dive into it and learn. And then we're still eating it half, learning small. Another area will come up, we'll leave that exact one and jump into another area. I'm sure this is happening to some of you, okay? So feel free to chat in, put it in the chat box, like experience things like this. Possibly you are learning Excel and then at the point you are distracted, you jump into another one. At the point you are distracted, jump into another area. At the point you are distracted. Now, that is where we come in because we are going to also make sure we bring in mentors into the class to always talk to you on areas that you need to know. This is what I did my own time that made me excel. This is what I did not do that made me to also excel, so that you are going to have the best results from all the mentors that is going to come to you. And when we talk about the cybersecurity program, what is it all about? So our cybersecurity classes holds every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and on Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time. And what are the key areas that you are going to be working with? What are the basic key areas that you are going to be learning? That's number 1, foundations of computing. You are going to learn foundations of computing. And in this case, we are talking about what is computer, what is ROM, what is RAM, what is LAN, what is WAN. So in this exact place, we tend to bring you into the industry so that even if you had zero knowledge of what computing space is all about, what computer is all about, you are going to learn it in this first class. So if you are scared that, oh, I do not have any technical experience. I do not have any technical background. I'm not technically savvy. We are going to make sure we bring you up through the foundations of computing, after which we'll now talk about foundations of networking, or call it also introduction to networking, where you also get to understand what is IP, how do you get to know the exact port that is necessary. So these are things that we do to make sure that you, with your experience, tends to understand everything that it takes to build yourself from zero level to expert level. After that, we now jump right into introduction to cybersecurity. So did you see that before we got to introduction to cybersecurity, we've actually worked on two initial topics, okay? And that is to prepare you for the journey ahead. And then when we now get to introduction to cybersecurity, we'll walk you through the various historical journey that cybersecurity has undergone before we got to the place we are today. Because the truth is that you are going to be tested in the field, okay? And at the point that you are tested, there are several historical data that is going to help you leverage the information that you had previously to work on the present. After that, we'll now talk about information security principle. What's the principle that cybersecurity is built on? The CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Under confidentiality, you have a lot of things that you are going to learn. You're going to learn the hashing, encryption, and so on and so forth. Under integrity, you have a lot to learn as well. Same thing as under availability. How do you perform? How do you do hierarchical? How do you position your data to be available to the only people that it's meant to be? For example, in analytics, you have data that is only available for departmental-based availability, which means it's only available to finance people. And you have data that is only available to hierarchical level of people, which means it's only available to managers, it's not available to possibly the analysts or the associates. So you need to understand how to make all these things happen. Even if you are going to be a GRC person, even if you are going to be a pen tester, even if you are going to be a vulnerability tester or incident hunter, and so on and so forth, you still need to understand all these various areas before you now decide, okay, this is the aspect of cybersecurity I want to fully concentrate in. And after it, also learn offensive and defensive cybersecurity. Offensive and defensive cybersecurity. What is it all about? How do you perform attack? And how do you defend yourself from an attack? Okay, offensive, how do you initiate attack? And defensive, how do you prevent yourself from that being attacked? And then we'll talk about cryptography basics. How do you perform your hashing? Possibly you want to send an email from yourself to the CEO of your company, and it's going to be hashed to make sure that there is no man in the middle interception. So what do? You hash that exact message. We also talk about cyber threats and attack vectors, network security. How do you perform network security? How do you build your network security? Endpoint security, web application security, cloud security, and of course, incident response and forensic. And then lastly, cybersecurity career and certification. So once you pass through these 13 key learning areas, you are assured of a career in cybersecurity already. You can easily decide that, okay, you want to be a network security person, you want to be a SOC analyst, you want to be a web and application security person, you want to be a cloud security engineer, you want to be an incident responder. So all these things are various different career paths that also is in cybersecurity. And in UK, the average salary of a cybersecurity analyst is as high as £57,000. And then in Canada, we're looking at 140 Canadian dollars. And in US, we are looking as high as 105 US dollars. Okay. So here in Nigeria, we're going to be looking at average of 600 to a million naira per month. Okay. And that's average, like we've seen in the initial slide that Peter showed us. And that means that by the end of the year, you should be looking at having at least an annual salary of at least 50 million naira every year. Okay, so this is for Nigeria. And as it is high in these exact regions, that's how high it is also in your own region. And that's basically due to all the reasons that Peter has mentioned to us: the specialized skill sets, the demand and supply, and continuous learning, because as threats is advancing, so is the need for cybersecurity people to also advance, right? So you need to also think like these people that is coming to attack us, which means if they are thinking new things, you also need to think of new areas, new ways to counter that exact attack. And how do you make this happen? Is by continuous learning. How do you get continuous learning? Is by also having the enough salary to fund that lifestyle. So that is why their own salary is also very, very high in this exact tech ecosystem. And the learning timeline for this exact program is for 4 months. Okay, so you're going to be learning for 4 months. You will learn massively in the classroom for 3 months, learning all these key learning areas. And then afterwards, you now move to the internship program, where you are going to also have real life case studies that you will work with. So you work on these real life case studies and be able to have it in your portfolio. Okay, so by the end of your stay with us, you have a fully built portfolio to say, this is who I am right now. And you have a lot of tools that you're going to cut across. You're going to use the Kali Linux to work. You're going to use the VMware or VirtualBox. You're going to use Metasploit. You're going to use Linux. You're going to use Bob Suite. You're going to use Wireshark, Zap. You're going to learn several tools that is going to help you to analyze threats and, of course, to prevent threats. So why exactly should you train with us? Why should you train with us? So for the last 4 years plus, we've been playing in this exact ecosystem, and we've helped over 2,000 people transition from the classroom into getting their first job. And this cuts across UK, US, Africa, Asia, Europe, Canada, and so on and so forth. How have we been able to do this? Is by leveraging on real life case studies to make sure that we impact this knowledge to people in a way that is going to be instrumental to them landing a job. Number 2 reason is because of our industry standard facilitators and curriculum. Okay, we have industry standard facilitators that we bring in from Fortune 500 companies to come back to the class and give back to the society. So the way we have Peter coming to talk to us, that's how they're also going to have amazing facilitators come to talk to you and teach you in the class. So what it means is that if there is a new addition or a new development in this exact field, they are already in it. So what it means is that they will directly pass that knowledge to you because it's what they are already experiencing on the job. And then number 3 reason is our blended training model. So the training is categorized live classes, okay? You are going to be having real life classes, the way we had this conversation today, the way Peter was talking to us, that's how someone is going to be teaching you in the class. And of course, the sessions will be recorded, okay? It is recorded. And after each class, 2 to 3 hours, it will be uploaded to your classroom. So make use of Google Classroom and the learning management system. So that's the platform that will make use of also. So after this is uploaded, even if you did not understand anything in the class, you can directly go back to that platform and watch the recorded version of the class. Or if you had any reason to miss a class, possibly you had a shift that required you to be on your work that exact time, you will definitely go back to the classroom and watch the recording. Number 4 reason is the tailored session to position you to land your first job. And how do we do this? It's by having power packaged strategies to help you land this job, ranging from CV review, LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, and so on and so forth. And how we've created this is by using our 3-layered approach. So we make use of the Analytics 3-layered approach to position you for success in the job market. Number 1 of the level 1 is CV review session. Okay, we pass you through, we teach you how you can modify your CV, how you can curate your CV to be ATS compliant. How do you make these things happen? How do you put the knowledge that you already have in your head? How do you present yourself in a CV format? Remember, we are like, CV is like a walking signboard of you, and it's definitely going to get to the company before you can come to defend yourself. So we help you to build your CVs to pass through this 8-year system so that you'll be called for that exact interview invitation. And of course, we also have LinkedIn optimization sessions where we help you position yourself for recruiters to reach out to you. So what this means is that you will be in your own comfort on LinkedIn and someone will reach out to you. Hi, Chukwemeka, are you intended in a new role? Do you have intentions to have a new, multiple of times this has happened to me that recruiter will just reach out to you. Hi, Chukwemeka, are you open for a new opportunity? So if I'm not open for a new opportunity, I'll simply say, okay, yeah, let me see job description, and then we'll discuss, and I'll know whether it's something I want to be into. So this is opportunity for you to put yourself out there and leverage the platform that LinkedIn has already created. We also have the Upwork optimization sessions. Number 3, Upwork optimization session. What is this all about? The way all of us play in the contractual space, that's what Upwork offers to you, right? You can get contractual roles that you're just doing it for possibly a month or 3 months, and then you can get things that are just hourly based, and you can be in Nigeria and you're working for companies in UK, US, Canada, Asia, and so on and so forth. You can be in UK and working for companies in US or Canada, and this is the beauty of Upwork. And number 4 is navigating the job market. We bring in expert recruiters into the class to talk to you about the hidden job markets, about how you can be able to leverage all those job platforms that we do not know about. I know we know about LinkedIn, we know about Indeed, we know about Glasgow, but there are other tons and tons of platforms that recruiters are using to get people, especially when it comes to technical roles. How do you get this knowledge? Right. Number 5 is job and interview prep sessions. So we make this possible also for our students, right? Which means at any point that you get an interview invitation, we are available to prepare you for that exact interview. We also have series of interview demonstration simulation where we send out job ad and ask our students to apply to it, so that you apply and you have a sit down with people and interview you to prepare you and also upskill your interviewing skills. And how do we do this? We'll walk you through the STAR and SEAT framework. Okay, how do you make use of the STAR framework to answer situation-based questions? And what is exactly the STAR framework that we're talking about? It's situation, task, achievement, and results. Situation, task, achievement, and results. For example, a recruiter is asking you, hello, Chukwemeka, you said you worked before with analytics. Tell us about a time in the past where you've been able to help your company to set up 10 network for the new hires that your company brought in. What are you going to say? You want to start off this situation first. Hi, recruiter. So in my last job as a cybersecurity analyst for Analytics, I was able to use the packet tracer web application, Cisco packet tracer, to set up the internet for our 10 new staff that we brought in. And what this means is that in the end, the network was fully successful and the result was accurate. Now, you've mentioned a couple of tools that you've used in this exact task, a couple of tools that you've used in this exact process. By virtue of that, the recruiter definitely is going to know that, okay, this person has an idea of what he is saying. And we're also available to provide you with recommendation and reference letters. Recommendation and reference that we all know the beauty of reference letter. And because we've said that you are working as a consultant for us, because what we are always going to say is that while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on so and so project. Okay, so it means that we are available to provide recommendation letter or reference letter for your future jobs. So if at any point you get another job, we are here to make sure that we avail you the necessary recommendation that you need. And level 2, we also have what we call the weekly mentorship sessions. We have the weekly mentorship session, and this is an avenue to match you with the mentors that we also bring in from out externally. So what we do is that we bring in expert people to come to class and talk to, okay, what is a day in the life of a cybersecurity person? What does it feel like to be defending an attack? What does it feel like to perform penetration tests? So these are things that the mentors are going to be talking to you about. So you have a live experience of what they are facing on the job. And of course, number 8, which is on-the-job support. So if at any point you get a job and you're still struggling on that job, we are available to help you for 1 month till you find your fitting on that exact job. So all these things we've done to make sure that we get you to the level 3 aspect of these additional employment services. And that is our guarantee to you that 1 month after you are done training with us, you will definitely get 1 job interview invitation. 1 month after you are done training with us, you will definitely get 1 job interview invitation. And how are we starting off this? It's because of our initiative that we've created. For number 3, we have partnership recruiting agencies in UK, Canada, US, and other countries. People like Harvey Nash, people like Adeko, Robert Nash, to make sure that at any point they need any of our students, we are available to give them that. So what they do is at a point they'll come to us, hi Analytics, we need 1 person for cybersecurity. So what we do is that once you are done training with us, we also place you in a pool that at any point that these people come to us and say we need experts in this area, we make it available for them. And also the enhanced internship experience where you get to work on series of projects that you can put in your portfolio. And also we have the body mentorship of. What exactly is the body mentorship of? So what we do is, because as you climb in your own career, at a point you may not really be technically anymore. You now need to build other people. So we make availability, we make it possible for our past students to come back to class and mentor new people. Okay, so for example, me at a point, I was very, very technically inclined. I kept growing in my career and I don't handle any of these things anymore. So I say it's now about leadership for me. And what I'm now looking out for is how many people have I helped to get into this exact tech industry? How many people have I guided into what they need to do? And that is you building the younger generation. And this is the level that you are going to use to build up your corporate profile. Because when you speak, we are not going to be a touch point for that exact domain. You'll be a what we call SME, subject matter expert. You'll be a subject matter expert in that area because you've had experience in it. You've trained a couple of people also in that exact place. And of course, we also have sessions where we teach you how you can freelance as a cybersecurity person, how you can be able to get remote opportunities, and of course, earn in dollars. That's the beauty of everything. We all want to earn in dollars or earn in foreign currency. So we walk you through how you can leverage this opportunity to get those things happen. So please ensure that you fill the attendance form so that you can watch the recording that we have attached here. So we may not be able to play it, but make sure that you fill the attendance form so that in the end of this session, you will get the recorded version and also get the slide that we use. Okay, my colleague Aimwa, she just dropped it. So please ensure that you fill the attendance. And how do we make it possible for you to play in a contractual role and get jobs? Is by teaching you how to make use of well-found, how to make use of remote.co, how to make use of Indeed, how to make use of Blessing, Glassdoor, LinkedIn to get all these jobs. And all these things we've done to make it possible for you to land your job, either remotely, mostly remotely, because that's all we want to do. Today I'm in Nigeria, tomorrow I'm in Kenya, working for my company because I have that leverage. Okay, and that's the beauty of the tech industry. And we have an amazing discount for you. Like I mentioned before now, we'll have a fantastic discount for you by virtue of being on this call. So this discount is for the first 20 people to register for this exact cohort. And instead of you to make payments of $750, you now get to make payments of only $600, right? Instead of you to make payment of £625, you pay £500. Instead of 730 euros, you pay 580 euros. Instead of 1,125 Canadian dollars, you pay 900 Canadian dollars. And instead of you to pay 900,000 naira, you pay 720,000 naira. And if you're in a country that your currency is not listed here, just hold on. I'll walk you through how you can also make payments also. And the beauty is that you can secure your spot by making the first instrumental payment, right? So if you do not want to leverage the full payment straight up, you can make the first instrumental payment and get into the class. And what this means is that you can secure your spot with $400. Then 1 month into the course, that means by the ending of July, you now be expected to make the subsequent $200. Okay, instead of making £350, instead of making £500 once, you can make £350 now. Then 1 month, you also make the extra £150. Instead of paying 580 euros right now, you can pay 400 euros. And then 1 month as well, you pay 180 that is remaining. Same thing with Canadian dollars. Instead of paying 900 Canadian dollars, you can pay 600 Canadian dollars now. And then 1 month into the program, you make payments of the other 300 Canadian dollars. Same thing is applicable to Naira or the other currencies. So instead of making payment of 900,000 Naira, you can pay, instead of making payment of 720,000 Naira, you can pay 500,000 right now, and then 1 month into the class, you pay the extra 220. So quickly, let me walk us through how we can make these payments, right? Let me walk us through how we can make this payment. So simply click on the link that my colleague just dropped in the chat box, right? Click on the link that my colleague dropped in the chat box. I'm clicking on it and I'm bringing up my screen so that will walk us through how we can make this exact payment. So once you click on that exact link, it's going to take you to Analytics Enrollment Center. It's going to take you to Analytics Enrollment Center. And once you get there, what do you need to do? Just scroll down and look for the cybersecurity program. So right here, I'm also going to see the other courses that we are offering, okay? Then scroll down and look for the cybersecurity program. Take note of this, upload your receipts, because you're going to come back here when you are done making payments, okay? So scroll down and go to cybersecurity. So this is cybersecurity. I'm simply going to click on it. So once I click on it, it's going to bring up the main stack store for me to, put what I want to buy. I want to buy the cybersecurity program, okay? So because I am in Nigeria, it's showing me my currency in NGN. So if you're in Ghana, you're going to see it in cedis. If you're in Germany, you're going to see it in euro. So it picks your geolocation and applies the currency of that exact country. So what you need to do, if I want to make the full payment once, I can click on reserve a seat with the 720,000, and that is it. If I want to make half payments, I can put the 500,000 Naira and click on reserve a seat. So at this point, what I need to do is to put my name. So I just need to put my name, Chukwemeka, email address, change the flag to the country that I'm presently in, and then my phone number. And after that, just click on proceed. So once you click on proceed, it's going to bring you to the checkout option. And at this point, what I simply need to do is either I put my card details here, put my card number, my card expiry date, and CVV, and simply click on pay, or I'll decide to go to transfer, and then I'll have the accounts of the bank I want to transfer to. I'll simply copy it, go to my bank account, and instantly make payments. So once I'm done making payments, what I will now need to do at that exact point is remember the place I talked to you about, upload your receipt. Remember that exact place I talked about, upload your receipt. So what I will do at that point is to go back to that exact place. So I'm bringing my screen so that I will get to see it. What I need to do right now is to click on upload my receipts, okay? Remember, you've made payments, you have your payment receipt, you come back to the store and you click on upload your receipt. Once you click on upload your receipt, it will simply bring out this option for you. So simply fill your email, Chukwemeka Ekpa, and then click on next, type of payment, initial payment or first installment, click on next, and then please note that after receiving your welcome kit, all balance payment must be paid before so click on next, and then continue, fill my name, fill my last name, my email address, my gender, click on next. And then I'll just have to see and look at all this. Okay, I have read the analytics terms and conditions, click on next. All right, and after that, when did you make your payment? This is it. Upload a screenshot of the payment, this is it. What's your mode of payment? Main stack website, and then click on next. After that, please provide the name of the account from which the payment was initiated. I'll simply put my name, which is Chukwemeka Ekpa, and click on next. Once you're done with this, please, which program are you processing for? All right, which program are you in the process of registering for? At this point, because it's cybersecurity, I'll simply click on cybersecurity. If you are not yet sure of the program you want to join, but you want to secure your spot before the deadline, because the truth is the deadline is actually today, right? The deadline is actually today, but we have the possibility of opening up for the weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, and by Monday, the welcome kit is already going out to people. Okay, so you can click that you need to speak to a professional. If you've not selected a particular program that you want to join, just click on I need to speak to a professional. And what it means that we will schedule you for a one-on-one session where we understand where you're coming from, understand your needs, and be able to tell you, okay, it is viable for you to go for any of this program. But if you've chosen that it's cybersecurity, simply click on cybersecurity and click on next. So once you've done that, what cohort do you intend to start the training with? Remember, our next cohort is starting on the 6th of July, but we have the option to say that, oh no, I want to start 7th of August, 3rd of August because I have something I'm doing this July, okay? And this is what I always advise people to take advantage of, because right now we are offering discounts, which means by August, that discount may not be available. But if you've purchased the products right now, if you've purchased the course right now, by August, you already have it, okay? So you don't need to make an extra added fee, okay? So once you take advantage of it, you can defer for 1 month and start by 3rd of August, but you've already made the payments for this exact, for the pricing that is currently existing. So after that, you put your WhatsApp number so that we'll get to add you to the WhatsApp groups, select your country of residence, how did you get to hear about us, family and friends, click on next, and then do you want to share the person's name? That's if you want to share the person's name that you joined us through, and click on next. After that, let me click on no, and then click on next, and then click submit to finish. And once you are done submitting, someone is going to reach out to you that, hi, Chukwemeka, this is your welcome kit. And that is 1 week before the classes start, which means by Monday, the welcome kit for everyone will be going out now, which is why it is very, very important for you to take advantage of it right now and get into the classroom. I don't know who is excited by the virtue of starting off a new learning path in cybersecurity. I'm always an advocate when it comes to continuous learning. So please take advantage of this exact discount and get into the class. Remember, this is just for the first 20 people to start off to join this cohort. The first 20 people to join this exact cohort. Okay, another thing I want to talk about is also the possible case studies that you are going to be working with. So I'm going to quickly walk us through some of the case studies that you will be working with. Why did this go back? Okay, so this is a case study that the current students, because we have people that are still in class, the current students, they worked on. So what they were asked to do is to basically, this is a case study, right? Current students case study, Bizlet Bank network expansion. So they worked on a banking project, okay? Bizlet Bank network expansion with Packet Tracer. And this is what Usman worked on. So if this is someone that joined the cohort in March, right? He joined in March, and this is March, April, May, June. 3 months into his program, he can comfortably set up a network for a bank, all right? And this is it. As a cybersecurity student, I've gained valuable knowledge and hands-on experience in safeguarding digital assets, ensuring data integrity, and implementing robust security measures. Through the comprehensive curriculum, I've developed skills in threat detection, incident response, risk mitigation, security architecture design. My studies have provided me strong foundation in network security, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, and compliance management. I'm eager to apply my newly acquired expertise in professional setting and contribute to the protection of organizations against cyber threats. So the truth is that Usman actually presented this yesterday. Okay, so he presented, day before yesterday, he presented this his case study that he worked on case study because we had a student showcase event. So he showcased this. And then the background of the project is that Bizlet Bank is a mid-sized financial institution and has been experiencing significant growth over the past few years. To meet increasing demand and expand its market presence, the bank has decided to open a new branch in a neighboring city. As the network engineer, we've been approached by Business Bank to design and implement a network architecture for the new branch and establish a secure connection to the main branch. How do you do this? So the business problem, what Business Bank needs is design a robust and secure network infrastructure for the new branch. That is one. Two, establish a reliable and encrypted connection between the new branch and the main branch. And three, ensure seamless integration of the new branch network with the existing system. So the expected outcome basically is that a secure and efficient network infrastructure needs to be designed, and also a seamless and protected communication between the main branch and the new branch, and also improve network management and monitoring capabilities, enhance overall security posture for secure bank's network infrastructure. So I didn't put the solution here because it's something that is very, very private to him, but he was able to build this exact model, right? He was able, okay, my screen is dark. Oh, I think it's possibly, there is a black something covering this exact place. Okay, there's a black something covering this. So he was able to build this and present it in the exact class yesterday, before yesterday. And afterwards, the connection was successful. So what it simply means is that Usman can comfortably work and secure a bank's internet network, right? So this is a bank that's trying to expand to their offshore branch or so, and he can comfortably set up their network. And how was he able to do this? He used the Cisco packet tracer, okay? And these are things that you are going to learn. This is just one of the case studies that you will definitely work with if you are in the learning the area of network security, okay? So the way this is created, that's how you're also going to learn network security, application security, and you are going to be using tools to learn all these various places. So what are you still waiting for? The way we have Usman's success story, that is how we also have other people's amazing success story. So maybe before this call is over, I'll try and play a couple of videos for us so that we get to hear what others have to say. But please ensure that you fill the attendance so that you can get the recording and also the slide that we use for this exact session. I don't know if anyone has any question for us at this exact point. Do you have any question from anyone at this exact point? Please, if you have any question, feel free to type it in the chat box or use the raise hand icon and I will call you up to speak. Okay? If you have any question, use the raise hand icon or type it in the chat box and I will call you up to speak. Okay, so let me have your questions so that I'll be sure that we are up to this exact level with me. Your screen is that, okay, I think I've seen that. Yes, please go over the amount and payment process again if you can. Oh, Deco. Okay, so this is the amount, like I'm showing. Why is my screen? Okay, this is the amount, all right? Deco, which country are you joining us from? Which country are you joining us from? So, but I'm just going to walk us through it. Using the link that my colleague dropped in the chat box, you are going to see the main stack link. Amwa, please, you can drop it. Okay, you are in Canada, fantastic. So for you in Canada, the price is 900 Canadian dollar, discounted. The full amount is 1,125, but we discounted it for you by virtue of you being here to 900 Canadian dollar. And you can make payments, first installment, 600 Canadian dollars, and then 1 month into the program, you can make the subsequent 300 Canadian dollar. Okay, so let me walk you through how you can make the payments. So once you click on the link that my colleague has dropped in the chat box, once you click on that exact link, it's going to bring you to Analytics enrollment center, right? So my screen is coming up. It's going to bring you to Analytics enrollment center. And what do you need to do at this exact point? What you simply need to do is scroll down and look for the cybersecurity program. Okay, scroll down and look for the cybersecurity program. So once you scroll down, you are going to see cybersecurity here. So simply click on cybersecurity. And once you've clicked on cybersecurity, it's going to bring you to the main stack store. So at that exact point, what you simply need to do is to put the amount you are meant to pay. Okay, the amount you're meant to pay. Remember, for Canadian dollar, it is 900 discounted, which means you can make 600 first payment and 300 second payment. So let's me, because I'm in Nigeria at the moment, I will put 500,000 naira as my first payment and click on reserve a seat. So once I click on reserve a seat, it will bring me the option to put my name, put my email address, change my flag to the current country that I am in so I can get my phone number, and then put my phone number and simply click on proceed. So once you've done this, it's going to bring up the checkout option. So what you need to do at this point is simply put your card number, your card expiry date, your CVV, and click to pay. Or you can decide to go to the transfer option and then click to copy the account number, then go to your own bank and transfer the money directly. So after that, that is simply it. What you now need to do is to go back to that enrollment center and upload your receipt. So once you go to the enrollment center, you see the option to upload your receipt and simply click it and upload your receipt. I hope that explains it well for you now. Deco, please, if you are there, you can type in that, okay, you understand me loud and clear right now. Please, I'm in Canada at Mountain Standard Time. The 11 a.m. what is kind of too awkward. Okay, fantastic, Uchenna. I really do understand you. Okay, so because of the number of people that tends to join cybersecurity class, some of our programs now, we have morning class and we have the evening class. But for cybersecurity, at the moment, it's still just that exact class, right? And why it's so because of the number. And what I will tell you, Uchenna, to do is, at a point, there are some things you have to do so that you have to grind out the success in the end, right? So that is the value that you have to look towards. It might be hard to say, okay, let's have classes for maybe 5 people in the morning and they have one class for Uchenna in the night. It may be a little bit hard, okay? So it's just a grind that you have to grind out the success. Is it worth it in the end? 100% assured. So what I always tell people about this is that just, for example, when I was working in the bank, I was doing my MBA as at then. So it was really a rigorous journey. But is it something that I needed? 100%. So it made me to know the value of what I needed. And it made me to grind to the end to get it out. So this is something that you have to also look out for. The timing might be a little bit, maybe around 11 a.m. should be maybe around 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. your time. But then it's something that you have to at least grind out for the next 3 months. And then in the end, you're definitely going to see the success. Okay, can I get the recording of this webinar? Thank you, Chineye. Correct, Chineye. Please make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleague IM1 dropped below your chat. Once you fill that attendance form, you will get the recording and the slide that we use. Okay. Okay, so please, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. Feel free to type it in the chat box. Feel free to raise your hand. And okay, I have Nick's hand is up. Nick, I've asked you to unmute. Please go ahead.
Hi.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation. I have a question. I want to find out if you guys or if Analytics have partnership, with recruiting companies. Now, I'm not talking about recruiters. I listen very well. You mentioned recruiters, they come in, they talk about jobs and so on. I'm talking about companies that are recruiting, that people that have gone through the process can just easily go through the interview and get placed in those positions. Like, does Analytics have such partnership? And if yes, if it's not a secret, if it's not a non-disclosure agreement, can you mention some of those companies so that maybe some of us who are interested can start just checking their profile and start, making ourselves available as we go on with the training? Thank you.
All right, fantastic, Nick. I totally understand your question. So we have partnership with some companies, right? And it's not really what I can disclose on the call at the moment. So what we do is, because we have people that also want students or want interns to, be able to help them in their company. We have such companies, okay? So once they also reach out to us, we make it available to them, right? So I may not be able to, list all the companies for you because of, like you mentioned, there are some non-disclosures that goes into some of these. But do we have such partnership? 100% it is available, right? And also, I think the most viable one is actually the recruitment agencies, because they're the one that will actually always come to say, oh, I need a cybersecurity person. Oh, I need a data analyst guy. Oh, I need a this, I need a that. And we always make it available to them. So for us, we have viable people because our own reputation is at stake. So we make sure that you pass through the entire process till the end, and then you are placed in such pool. And not really possibly someone that started first week, second week. And also we have attendance sheets, and you have capstone projects that you're going to work on. So if you've not been able to complete all those stages, you may not be able to activate all those areas. So that we are 100% certain that the people we are sending to this area will always defend our name. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Nick.
No, it does. It does. The reason why I didn't talk about recruiters a lot, because I know they do a lot of phishing out there. Like, and they probably speak to you, and then they ghost you. They come back, they test the waters, they ghost you. Yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, if we have like those companies that we know, okay,
we're actually doing it.
Yeah, but thank you so much for that clarification.
All right, thank you, Nick. I hope I'll be seeing you this July in class.
I'll think about it.
So I forgot to mention, because like I mentioned, class is starting next week. So we always advise people take advantage of it right now, because registration has the possibility of closing this weekend. So that will tend to prepare everyone that will move into class. And even if you want to start in August, you can still leverage the exact course right now, but you are indicating that you want to start next month. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Okay, hi Chenna, I've asked you to unmute. You have the floor, please. Hi Chenna, are you there?
While you're waiting for Uchenna, can you please drop your LinkedIn address on the chat, please? Is it possible?
Okay. I just typed Analysts and you're going to see us. We only one. But Aimoa, please help to drop our LinkedIn address so that people also have access to that.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Chenna. Please, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I'm calling in.
Sorry, Chenna, I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay. My name is Uche, and I'm in British Columbia, Cranbrook, precisely. You mentioned you've actually touched you've answered my question, which was about the West African time and the Mountain Time Zone.
Okay.
Since you said it's a bill we have to pay in order to see ourselves through to the best of every intentions. Okay, I will try my best. And then you talked about the attendance. So, for instance, because I work night duties, and since I'll not be able to attend every classes, but I will do all my projects, will it still affect my attendance or the outcome of
No, not at all. So for us to be able to do your projects, it's an evidence that you've watched the recording of the class. Because if you didn't go through the recording, it means that you can't perform the capstone project in the end. So if you are able to work out your project, it 100% means that you've watched that video, so you don't have any issues. Okay, so we made it possible for people to watch the recording because we know that there are instances where you might have work engagements that will make you not to be in class that exact time. So we make it possible for you to go back and watch that exact video. I don't know if that makes sense to you now, Uche.
Yeah, thank you. All right. And then what's the application of cybersecurity in healthcare sector?
I didn't hear what you said.
What is the application of cybersecurity in healthcare sector?
In healthcare sector, fantastic. Uche, imagine today you opened your WhatsApp and you're seeing your health data on someone's status. How is it going to make you feel?
Yeah, that's awful. It's
I didn't hear what you
it's
said.
not palatable. Yeah, that would be very awful. Yeah.
Exactly. So they have cybersecurity experts to also protect the data that they gather from people. All right. You carry out tests, it's being keyed into the system. Someone needs to make sure that that digital asset is protected. Okay. And that is one key role that they play in the tech ecosystem, in the health sector. I mean,
Okay, thank you so
so
much. All
it's
right.
always viable. And just to be open, NHS is part of our highest employer of labor in UK, and that is actually the health sector. And that's because virtually all the technical people have a role to play in the health sector. Virtually everybody. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. I hope I'll see you in class, Uche.
I've registered. I will be in August. I've already paid my part payments. I'll be
All
there in
right,
August.
Did you just do it now?
A couple of hours before the webinar started.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. I can't wait to see you in class in August then.
All right.
Okay, I think I have, before I take Laurie, I think I have a couple of questions going on in the chat box. So let me look through and see if anyone is for me. Please, okay, I think I've answered that. How is cybersecurity different from cloud architecture and cloud security? Fantastic. Okay, I think my person, Peter, have answered you. Cloud security is an aspect of cybersecurity. So if you watch when we are showing things that you are going to touch in the classroom, you're going to see number 11. Can you see my screen? Ojedinro, can you see my screen? So number 11 basically is about cloud security. Okay, and all these different areas that you are seeing is also a specialty that someone can decide to specialize in. So if today you finish this entire course, you can decide to become a cloud security engineer, or you can call it a cloud architect, as the case may be, right? You can decide to become a network security engineer or network architect, or you can decide to become an application security engineer or an application architect, right? So these are all various aspects of cybersecurity that you can decide to fully specialize in. I don't know if that answers your question, or Jedero. Okay, no easy meal from Ademola. Okay, please, how is the SC analyst market in Nigeria? That's stock market analyst. Peter have also touched it. In Nigeria, banks and several investigative firms are the ones that retain our services. Okay, also know that every organization is expected to function with a cybersecurity analyst. So SC, that's a SOC analyst, is actually very, very pivotal for the success of most companies. So sorry I joined late. How much is total package fee? Oh, wow. Hi, Samuel. So the total package fee, depending on the country you are in, I'm just going to touch on the discounted pricing, is $600. All right, the pricing is $600, 500 pounds, 580 euros, 900 Canadian dollar, or 720,000 naira. Okay, I'm also, okay, my colleague have also dropped it in the chat box for you. Here is the LinkedIn profile link. Fantastic. So I don't see a private handle on LinkedIn. Okay, Nick, at the moment, my LinkedIn had a lot of, I don't want to call it a DDoS attack, but it's currently off LinkedIn. In a couple of weeks, it should be back fully. Okay, so my LinkedIn currently had a DDoS attack, like I mentioned, but it will be back in a couple of weeks. But you can go ahead to look at our company profile. You can go ahead to look at my founder's profile, and that will be an amazing. Okay, Nick Bo, you can still drop yours, and definitely I'm going to connect with you. Okay, when you join the program, we'll have so many engagements that we'll have a personal connection that is going to be lasting a longer period of time. Okay, Uche, also the first regulation put in place this Hyper Act. Okay, I'm happy that Peter is answering everyone's question. I wish to find out sincerely from you, cybersecurity too difficult to study and grab? Are there women doing well in it? Hi, Chine, I still there. I still there. You know what they talk about when they say, okay, a woman is carrying out FBI work on someone. With that, that mindset, I'm going to be honest with you. Women do more, they do well in cybersecurity than men. Because I don't know, it's just biology, right? The way they're already built sort of gives them an advantage to how they actually see things. For example, if I'm not married, so I may not be able to speak higher in this exact area. But there are instances that if a lady tells you something that, okay, this is this, there's a way that in the end, it will turn out to be the way that they've seen it. So they always have foresight. I don't know how to put it so that the men here will not start fighting me. But cybersecurity is not really as hard as it's sounding. This is exactly a domain that you have tools to help you, tools that you're going to make use of to get to the landing page. All right. Thank you so much for your clear response. Okay, Nick, to begin, does one need a specific specification as regards personal computer? Okay, Peter have answered that. Fantastic. So I'm going to call on Laurie. Oh, there's another hand. Which one? I don't know whether that's an old hand. Hi, Laurie. I've asked you to unmute. I've seen this name before. Hi, Laurie. Is that you?
Hi, it's so good to see you again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. I came in not too long ago. I made a payment for cybersecurity. So what's the next step?
All right, Laurie, did you select to start this July?
Yeah, July.
When did you make payments?
Today.
All right, fantastic. So you are definitely going to get your welcome kit by Monday. Okay, so by Monday, the welcome kit will start going out to everyone for you to prep up for classes this weekend. I can't wait to see you in class because I know I've seen you in a couple of my master classes before now.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I wish to find out sincerely for, okay, that's the question that I've answered. Come join me, Chineye. Okay, we got Chineye. You can see Laurie is already here. You should please endeavor to join her so that you guys can have a good time. I don't know if there's any question from anyone at this point. So before we start rounding up, okay, is there any question from anyone before we start calling it a day? You can use the raise hand icon and I will ask you to speak. You can type it in the chat box and I'm going to pick it up from there. Any question, you can ask me anything and I'm 100% here to take that question. Okay, I guess we've been very, very explicit with our explanation. Nick, here we go. I've asked you to unmute. Hi, Nick, talk to me, please.
Yeah, I know this might depend on maybe several factors, but Chukwu Emeka, is it really possible to pick up a job in cybersecurity after 90 days of training? Because I know this training is 90 days, right?
Fantastic question. It's 100% possible. It is 100% possible. All right. So as at now, I don't know at the point you joined us, but with what you've seen Usman do you think Usman will not be able to get a job once it's done? I don't know whether you saw the project showcase that I showed for Usman.
Yeah, I did about the new branch, the bank.
Right. So from your own assessment, do you think Usman will go for a network security job and he's not going to get it? Just be honest with me.
It's I don't really know how the market is like.
Okay, yeah, I understand you actually. So what we do is that we equip you with the skills that you need to excel in this exact ecosystem. Remember, you are going to cut across several domains in cybersecurity, which means you have opportunity to apply for security engineer, network security engineer. You have opportunity to be an endpoint security engineer. You have diverse opportunities. So once you've gone through all this program and you've built your portfolio fully, definitely you are going to get a job. Take it from me, Nick. Take it from me. All right. So some of us, when we transitioned, we didn't actually get this full aspect of cybersecurity. We possibly scratched the CIA triad, scratched a little bit of things, and then we got a job with it. And then inside that exact job, we now kept upskilling and all. So definitely with these full 13 key learning areas, I'm assuring you one. Okay. And remember, it's not just about the skill. We also give you options with respect to employability services, because it's one thing for you to have the skill that you have everything. It's another thing for you to position yourself to be able to land that job. I think I have a success story I'm going to talk about before we round up with it. Okay, this is Ini. right? This is he didn't do cybersecurity, okay? What he did is data science with us, but he had over 10 years of experience in the IT industry, but he's not been able to land a proper job that befits him. So after he joined our program to take data science, he went for a job interview. And what he went for was a managerial role, but he got the CEO role of that exact company, right? He got the CEO role of that company. And that's after the recruiters have seen how he's been able to package both his initial years of experience and the experience he got from the analytics, and then packed everything in his CV. If you read from line 4, where he mentioned that, I want to thank the analytics for bringing out the ginger in me. Beside the regularly well-organized and structured weekly classes, the other sessions, such as the mentorship sessions every Thursday, shaped my mind towards success. Though I've been in the IT industry for more than a decade, I've done so many projects and training that should have catapulted me above where I was before now. I didn't know how to structure myself, that is, optimize my CV for better opportunity. Even my family and friends around me, I still could not show them my worth. And so they could not really help me. Need I say analytics are wonders workers? Though the goal was not to become a CEO, I landed it after the employing team saw my CV and interviewed me. So what we do is, because we've given you the skill and experience you need, we also walk you through how you can build up your CV and everything. And there is honestly no recruiter that is going to see that and pass you, unless that is not what they are looking for. Unless that is not what they are looking for. So 100%, this is success stories that I've seen. So what I would advise people to also do, you can take a stroll to our YouTube page, just type, so all these are success stories. So when you get this slide, you can also click on all this link and you hear what they have to say personally. Or you can go to the YouTube channel and watch all these things live, okay? So it is something that we've been doing over now. Let me also be honest with everybody right now. So I'm actually a student turned master. I did my course, I transitioned to data analytics 2019-2020 with analytics, right? So I took my course, data analytics course with analytics 2020, and since then, it's just been a series of increments. From there, I moved to banking sector, worked with a couple of banks, moved to fintech ecosystem. I've led teams, I'm COO, and presently I'm even, so it's a lot of things, right? And it all started after my own training personally. So take it from me as an alumni of this exact institution, as a worker in this exact institution, and as COO of this present institution, that it is 100% possible. Because people have done it, I have done it, and you also can do it. I don't know whether, Nick, you are still there, and whether you caught everything that I said. Okay, I don't know if there's still any question. Okay, I can see a couple of things. Okay, can one get a job without the certifications? 100%. You can, 100%. You can. That is the simple and truth answer. Please, what time is Thursday mentorship session? So what happens on Thursdays, Nick, is basically around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. West African time. That's when it happens, right? 9 p.m., 10 p.m. West African time, because we know that's time that people just try to relax and also it's normally a 1 hour session where we bring in people to come and speak on all those areas. 1 hour session on Thursday, 9 to 10 p.m. West African time or 10 to 11 p.m. West African time. Okay, please, could you please clarify why majority of alumni still have to on their various LinkedIn profile and get to showcase new companies in their profile? Well, the truth is, this can be for diverse reasons. At the moment, you have close to 500 students in the class, right? Remember, we offer 8 courses. So we have 500 people in the class. So the people you might be seeing may be people that are currently in class. For myself, I've sojourned across so many things, and I still have the analytics when I did data analytics consultants with them. So people build up that profile through this means as well. Of course, it's not easy for you to be a consultant for a consulting firm. So some people also leave it there so that they can leverage that opportunity for greater things and get all those consulting roles specifically. Okay. I think I've done justice to all the questions. So this session have really been so insightful. It has really been an amazing session. And honestly speaking, You guys are so fantastic. I can't wait to see each and every one of you. Come July 6th or come July 6th, most definitely, in class where we get to start up this journey of cybersecurity. Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me to this exact moment. This should be 10:15 p.m. West African time. And the last thing I'm going to say before we drop the ball is the best time to get into the tech industry is yesterday. And the second best time is right now, because tomorrow, it may be too late, right? We've had instances where our past students said that the only mistake that they made is not taking this course earlier. So don't jump into this exact mistake that they had. Let's learn from them and let all of us, transition and get higher in this exact career path. Thank you, everyone, once more. And like I said, I can't wait to see each and every one of you come 6th July 2024 in class. Cheers and bye for now. Good night, guys.